Right, so I'll give you the word picture. Right, so my instructor who couldn't make it today because he's gone off playing golf, but he has got the same car as you, so I'm familiar with the controls of the Fiesta. He said today he was going to do a reverse around the corner, either to the left or to the right.
Okay.
So, before we go on the roll, have you got any questions on that?
No, you give the brief on side, don't you? So,
yeah. So what's the subject?
Reverse around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, the examiner wouldn't make a decision whether it's going to be a left or right hand reverse till you get to site.
Yeah.
Because they can only go with what's available.
Yeah.
So you happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what level am I?
Part of train.
Yeah. Yeah, so shall I go on the roll then?
Yes.
Right, so my name's Tony. So have you introduced yourself?
Okay, hi, my name is Pierre. Hi,
All
Tony.
right. Yeah, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So we're going to have a look at reverse around the corner.
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah.
Today, yeah?
Yeah.
So, before we go off to a suitable site, how much driving have you been doing?
Oh, about 7 hours now.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever moved away from behind a car like this before?
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, and how did you control your speed?
Oh, I had to coordinate them pedals.
Yeah, and did you have to keep your feet very still once you got to the bite? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't stall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite important we don't stall here, Tony, because you start moving. It's a bit of a hill. Traffic is quite busy roads, isn't it? We don't want to be stuck in the middle of the road. Yeah.
I haven't stalled since about my second lesson, I think.
Oh, well done. So we go and have a look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one thing you need to do when you set the gas and the clutch here, what do you do with the steering? Because you're quite close to the car there.
I'll turn it.
Yeah, but when do you start turning the steering?
Oh, when I start moving.
Yeah. And why is that?
Oh, drive steering, innit?
Yeah, that could damage the steering rack,
Yeah.
could it? And how fast do you have to steer, you think, before you... So then you actually
right, okay, let's
move
just back you up here a bit, because we're...
Yeah.
You'd be asking what I had for breakfast in a minute.
Well, I was just trying to get to the...
Yeah, I can see where you're trying to get to.
But I wasn't getting there, was I?
Yeah.
Is that lunch you gave me, Tony?
Yeah, I think what you're trying to find out is what I've done before, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a good question. I've ever moved off from a position like this?
Yeah.
And if I have, how did I control the speed? Yeah, coordination of the pedals, yeah?
Yeah.
Go from there to a couple of questions. Have I ever done any reversing before, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to do that on side, but yeah, I could do it here, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could do it here, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, have I ever done any reversing before?
Okay.
The answer's going to be yes or no, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, you've already asked me how I could, how I'd control the speed. And
I just was worried that you would start to do these little shuffles, and then I was trying to see how quickly you would start turning.
I wouldn't worry too much about little shuffles on the steering when it's reversed around the corner. That's more related to the turn in the road, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting mixed up here. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So have I ever done any reversing before?
Okay.
The answer's going to be yes or no.
Yes.
When I done that reversing, how did I keep the car slow? But you covered that quite nicely there. With how would I get out of here? This wasn't planned. Just that.
Yeah. I know.
We came out from lunch and this is parked in front of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use that.
I was. Yeah.
But obviously this is going to start in the test centre car park.
Yeah.
So did you ever do any reversing before? Oh yeah, I done a little bit of straight reversing last week.
Yeah.
How did you control the speed?
Yeah.
Coordination.
And did you have the reference point as well?
Yeah, coordination of those pedals. Where did you look?
Yeah.
Oh, you really pushed me to look in the direction I was going, yeah?
Yeah.
And did I pick up a straight line reversing point?
Yeah.
So,
So you say yes or no, and
Yeah, so start that again then. So,
okay, Tony. From the beginning, yeah.
yeah, we've introduced yourself and...
Okay. Yeah, Tony. Okay, so how much driving have you done before?
Oh, about 6-7 hours.
Okay. Did you ever move off from a car behind like this on a slope?
Okay, just imagine we're in a test at the car park, yeah?
Okay, all right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Have I ever done...
I'm trying to use this. It's there.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, have you done any reversing before, Tony?
No, but I've moved off and beyond. I've done a little bit of straight reversing last week.
Yeah, and how did you control your speed?
We had me coordinating those pedals, yeah?
Okay, well done. And did you pick up a reference point for straight reversing?
No, we just gone through this gap in the traffic and this lorry came through and I had to reverse, so he was just...
helping you out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to pick up a reference point when you're on site
Oh, okay.
to help you out with that, yeah?
Yeah.
Not a problem. Okay, so how do you control the speed of the car to move forward or backwards, Tony?
Oh, coordination and pedals.
Yeah, well done. Okay, so we go and have a look at that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what we can find.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to set yourself up properly,
All right. Yeah.
for me, please. How do you know the mirror is adjusted properly?
You mean what can I see?
What can you see in the mirror? Yeah.
I can't see much because I've got a vehicle right behind me, but I can see the whole of the back window.
Yeah.
And I can see a bit of my head restraint.
Okay. And what about the side mirrors, Tony?
I can see a bit, 2 finger widths, and I can see the sky comes in right at the top,
Right.
and the road's roughly in about the middle. And the same with that one.
Okay, well done. If you want to start the car, Tony, don't go into that setup. Before we move off, Tony, you want to have proper observation all the way around, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So, if you do that for me, Tony, please.
All right.
Don't go into that setup. If you do the observation for me, Tony, please.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? When it's safe to go, if you go.
Yeah,
But-
so be a little bit careful with your level.
Yeah, I
Hang
was.
on, let
yeah.
me finish. Be a little bit careful with your level of instruction there.
Okay.
I wouldn't have had to do palm, wouldn't I, at this stage?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah?
Fair enough, yeah. And show me that tight clutch control, Tony.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you keep your feet still. Yeah.
That was difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tony. It's because you didn't keep your feet still.
And we're going to turn right.
You're going to be turning right, Tony. So it's very important you keep your once you get to the driving biting point, Tony. You keep your feet still, so you move forward.
All right.
Yeah. So the next junction we have, Tony. If you can do the same for me, show me that tight clutch control, yeah?
All right.
Because you're going to be needing that today for reversing. Because you want to keep the speed really, really slow. It's very important that you just crawl along so you can have time to have proper observations.
Oh, okay.
Because we'll be going the wrong way. You become a hazard.
And we're going to turn left.
And we're going to turn left, Tony. So if we have to stop somewhere, Tony, before we start again, I want you to show me those tight control with the clutch.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
Next turn to the right for me, Tony, please. So show me that tight clutch control here, Tony, when you're going to be starting again, yeah? And if you keep your feet still, Tony, then you'll find it a lot easier. So show me that tight clutch control. Well done.
That's a funny place to park, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I haven't got much choice.
You could have given him one of your cards, couldn't you?
I could have done. So you've done very good. Well, you've done very well. A good clutch control there, Tony.
Oh, thank you.
So you kept the car going very slowly, and that's what we need to do today to control the speed of the car. Same again, Tony. We're going to take off now. We're going to have that tight clutch control. Yeah?
Oh, right, yeah.
How do you achieve that, Tony? How do you achieve it?
Oh, coordination of those pedals, isn't it?
Yeah. And how still must you keep your feet?
How still?
Yeah.
Well, I have to move them to get it moving, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean when I get moving then?
Yeah.
Keep them still? No, no.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to do some reversing back there.
It looked like it, didn't it? Don't know what he was playing at.
I didn't give you shouting, he had no choice. He had to pick his friends up in the middle of the road.
Yeah, well.
And we're going to turn right.
Going to be turning right, Tony. He's special because he has a big car, you see. Special license. He can't stop where he wants. So are you looking forward to that reversing, Tony? Looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's always good to learn these new manoeuvres, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you have any idea why you would be doing that, Tony? After reverse on the corner?
Because I might be asked to do it in my test, mightn't I?
Yeah, well, they might check you on that, but the reason why you might need to do it, Tony, is that if the road ahead is blocked, yeah,
All right.
then you find a suitable spot and you have to reverse on the corner there to go in the opposite direction.
All right.
Yeah. So it's quite useful to be able to control the car like that because you might need to do that sometime. You don't have much warning when the road is blocked or you can't go through or it's a cul-de-sac. You know.
All right, yeah.
But you must never do it, Tony, if it's a one-way street you're in, yeah? Because you'll be going the wrong way.
All right, yeah.
Yeah? So you have to find a suitable place to do it. And you never do it from a minor to a major road, Tony. Because,
Minor to a major.
yeah, because otherwise you get into big traffic.
All right, yeah.
The speed limit might be 30 miles an hour. You know, it's not very safe to do it. So you got to choose a spot.
And the traffic lights.
Traffic light, you can't do it. Traffic lights either.
I was going to give you directions. God, you're worse than my bloody wife. Can't get a word in.
I don't
left.
stop, one stop. We can do it turning left, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do it turn around the corner. A traffic light.
A comedy sketch, yeah, isn't it?
Could we make a fortune?
We're a bit like Ant and Dec, aren't we? You should know what I'm going to say before I say it.
We're going to turn right, Tony. Well done with that tight clutch control, Tony. Very good.
Saturday today or something.
Something. When we get on site, Tony, I'll give you a short brief.
Okay, right. So will you show me them pictures?
Yeah,
I like
should
them pictures.
To help you
Yeah.
visualize it.
It's a big word.
If I give you a long brief, it wouldn't be a brief, would it?
That's true. How am I going to turn left?
I'm going to turn left on it. Well done, well done. Good clutch control. That's what we're going to be using today, yeah?
Right. How am I going to take the next turning to the left?
The next turn to the left for me, Tony, please.
And if you get me to pull up about 3 car lengths before the next turning on the left.
Can you pull up about 3 car lengths before the next turn to the left, please, Tony? Well done, Tony. If you can stop the car for me.
Yeah, so it's,
What do you think? Is it suitable?
yeah, it's not ideal.
No, because there's a car there, isn't it? How are we going to do that? Not very good, is it?
Right, if you just give me a minute, I'll just come out. I'll actually take somewhere more suitable there.
Okay.
Right, I'm doing this out of roll. I'll turn the car around and
Okay.
get it into a suitable place. Yeah?
Yeah. You're very good at this, Tony. That's what we're going to be doing in a minute, yeah?
Right, if you
Just
stop,
like that.
if we stop just before this turning here, please, about
If
2 or
it's-
3 car lengths.
If you stop just before this turning here, please, Tony, about 2 or 3 cars from it. Well
Right, and
done.
that will be a suitable road on the left there.
Okay.
If you can just ignore the yellow line for now, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Tony, so we're going to be doing the reverse on the corner.
Yep.
It's a left corner, just in front
Yep.
of us. Yeah. I get my book out. Okay, Tony. This is the visual I want to look at. Give you an idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're parked about here.
Yeah.
Okay. And the road on the left here in front of us is the one we want to try to reverse into.
All right. Yeah.
When we drive past the drive, we're going to have a good look into that road, because there could be a car parked on the corner there,
All right. Yeah.
and that wouldn't be suitable for us to reverse in,
Right.
because you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to do it properly. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be moving forward, and you want to be about a drain's width away from the curb,
All
Tony.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's about the width of your steering
Yeah.
wheel.
I can see a drain just ahead there. isn't it?
Yeah, there you are. So that allows for any mistake you do when you steer on the corner.
All right. Yeah.
It gives you a margin for mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it tells people around that you're not really parked. Yeah. So your position is a good sign or signal. Yeah. Then when you're there, Tony, we're going to be stopping about 2 car lengths from the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to put the reverse gear straight away.
Yeah.
In reverse. The reason we put in reverse, Tony, is because we want to tell people our intention. When we put the reverse gear, Tony, it's important we say the reverse gear, because we're going to be reversing, not going forward. We're going to be looking behind us.
All right.
The reversing light comes on.
Yeah.
So people behind us coming towards us, or pedestrians, they know what we're doing.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's a form of signal straight away. Yeah? But before we do that, Tony, I want to give you a reference point, or pick a reference point. I won't give it to you, but
Yeah.
if you look in front of you, Tony, where is the curb cutting into the car, into the windscreen? Where we are here.
Oh, near that bubbly bit.
Yeah, that's the parking position. Yeah?
Right. I'll give you a bit of help here.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got it wrong, yeah.
You know, you mentioned on the way here that we were going to do that a brief wouldn't be a brief if it wasn't brief.
It's getting a long brief, yeah.
Right. So if you think about the main points of any manoeuvre, whether it be reverse around a corner, turn in the road,
Yeah.
and Parnell Park, it's the 3 main areas that you need to concentrate on is observations, control, and reasonable accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So providing you cover them on the brief. Yeah, and there is a bit of consolidation. I'll stop a bit of drains away from the curb. If there's a drain available, most SEs will actually go along with the drains width.
Yeah.
And that was very good the way you come in with the steering wheel.
To reinforce it, yeah.
Yeah. Then the reference point. There's 2 reference points I'm going to need. On the word picture, I told you I didn't pick a straight line reversing point. Yeah.
No.
So therefore, it's a straight line reversing point
Going back.
to the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get me to look out the back window
Yeah.
and ask me where does the curb cut into the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you ask me that.
If you look in the back window,
Yeah.
Tony, where is the curb cutting into the
No,
back window?
just by the edge of the rear wiper.
Okay, so that's your reversing point. That's your reference point for going straight line when you're reversing?
That's your reference point for knowing when you're close enough to the curb, yeah?
Yeah, because that reference point is going to be different than when you are a width drain away from the curb, isn't it?
No, I'm a drain's width away from the curb to start the manoeuvre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you reverse, to know you're going straight, you need a reference point, which is not the one we have here, for reversing, don't you? Because you're in a different position,
What
aren't
we
you?
mean by a straight line reversing point is the position I'm going to finish up in.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The starting position is going to be
Okay, got you.
a drain's width from the curb because I don't want to start the manoeuvre very tight to the curb because
Gotcha, okay.
Because roads are, you know, curbs and roads are never straight. So as I go back a bit, even if I don't put any little bits of steers on, it is possible that I could be scraping the curb, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the next thing to scraping the curb is that I'm going to bump up onto the curb, yeah?
Yeah.
So we stay a drain's width from the curb when we position over there.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is for me to have, when I get round the corner and I get the car straight, is my straight line reversing point lining up yet?
That tells you you're not too near the curb, yeah. Okay.
Well, it tells me whether I'm close enough to the curb or I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm not, then obviously...
Want to adjust it?
Yeah, and we'll adjust it with the consolidation of steering in a few minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
The way I cover this brief is that, you know, the reason why we're doing this manoeuvre is that, you know, we may have gone the wrong way or the road could be blocked.
Yeah.
It's a way of turning the car around. Yeah. I'm going to drive past the turning, look into the turning to make sure it's clear to reverse in there.
Yeah.
We need to take observations ahead and behind to see if a signal is necessary, and we're going to stop it only between 1.5 to 2 car lengths past the turning.
Yeah.
And we're going to stop the drains width from the curb. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to select reverse gear. It's important to be in reverse gear, but you can tell me I like the other side.
Yeah.
And you can tell me better reversing lights.
Yeah.
We're going to do all-round observations. We're going to be looking for motor vehicles, cyclists, pedestrians.
Yeah.
And then we're going to reverse back, keeping the car at old man's walking pace, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the control element, yeah?
Yeah.
Old man's walking pace. And we're going to line up our first reference point, which is going to be where the straight bit of curb comes into the corner of that...
Put the car there.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Listen. Where it comes into the corner of that side window there, yeah?
Yeah.
When that does, I want you to stop.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why it's very important for you to give me that information, because the last thing you want to be doing is to be looking round, trying to line it up from your seat.
No,
you want to be watching me, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you tell me to reverse back until that straight bit of curb there
shows up
in the corner of that window there,
yeah,
and you consolidate that with me before we start, I will do exactly what I'm told and I will stop, yeah?
Yeah.
And then it's important to take all round observations.
Because it's car swings out.
Yeah, but you can go into that over there because you're going to have to talk me through all this in a second, yeah?
Yeah.
And then once we get around the corner, we want to try and park the car
3 car length.
2 to 3 car lengths down the road, reasonably close to the curb, yeah? Looking at
Yeah.
reasonable accuracy, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're going to help me with the what's going to help me with the accuracy is I'm going to try and line up that straight line reversing point, yeah?
Yeah.
But I will need a bit of guidance how I get to that,
Yeah.
yeah?
Okay.
But again, it's very important, the all-round observations, pedestrians crossing the road,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
And it's very important that I'm looking in the direction that I'm travelling, yeah?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep. And at this stage, I should reinforce the steering, consolidate the steering. How we're going to be steering, is it?
Yeah.
So I could say, to go on that corner, Tony, we need to give a full turn of the steering. So, on your steering wheel, can you show me what a full turn would be from the right?
One turn.
No, but just show me with your finger. How far would you go?
Would it be that pointing up again?
Yeah, it goes all the way back. Yeah, okay. And what would be halfway, Tony? Half a steer.
Oh, that pointing at the top.
That's right. And what would be a quarter turn, Tony?
This pointing at the top.
That's it. So that's what we're going to be doing, Tony. So I'll tell you to give quarter of a turn towards me, or half a turn towards you, whatever it is, yeah?
Yeah.
So you know that's what I want you to do.
All right.
Okay? But looking at that corner there, Tony, you probably need, when we get to the point of turn, you'll need a full turn towards me.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So can we go and have a look at that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So did you get the idea behind that?
Yeah.
So On
So
the
that's
brief,
fun.
on the brief, we have actually talked about accuracy,
Yeah.
control,
Yeah.
and the biggie, observations. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, when we get across here, now it's important now to back that up
We're actually doing it.
with while we're doing it, and obviously it's going to lead it.
The results why and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Will you let me finish my
Sorry,
sentences?
Tony.
I'm going to gag you in a minute. It's
Oh,
it's
dear.
going to be really important that you back it up with detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's not much point of sitting here and giving me 12 or 13 minutes of detail on the brief, and then having to back it up over there again. So, so as you said on the way here, it's a brief outline,
Yeah.
and the brief outline needs to cover the main ingredients of what we're going to do, which is
The key.
control, observations, and
Accuracy.
reasonable accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, on the move, you're going to have to show me how to get this
Achieve
reasonable
that.
accuracy. You're going to have to show me the kind of control I need.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to really, really, really push the importance of the observations. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Right.
So we're going to go and have a look, Tony. So you want to start the car
All right.
for me, please. And if you do observation before we go off, Tony, if you could look all the way around before we move
Oh, yeah,
off.
that's fine.
And your blind spot, Tony? What about your blind spot, Tony? Why is it important, Tony? You also watch. You also check your blind spot
Why is it
before you move off.
important? Why is it important that you watch your level of instruction?
You already know how to do that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, Tony. So when we're ready, you can
Yeah.
go. And keep it at a very slow speed, Tony, which is about 10 miles an hour.
10. All right.
No more than 10 miles an hour, Tony. Okay, look in the road, Tony. You
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Can we reverse on the corner?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Okay. So steer there, Tony. Don't go anywhere nearer to the curb. And stop here, Tony, for me. Okay, well done. And put in reverse gear, Tony. Secure the car. In reverse gear, Tony.
Was it? I didn't have to worry about those cars coming behind me, did I?
Yeah, you should look in the mirror before you stop, Tony. Yeah?
Right, so let's just take it back a step, yeah?
Oh, go on. Cocking it up.
Hang on, relax. Breathe. There was no car behind me, yeah? But there could have been, yeah? Right, so you're talking me through how to move away. The pun routine, I know inside out, don't I? Yeah?
Yeah.
But the reverse round the corner bit, I've never done before, yeah?
Yeah.
So you got me to
That's
look into
good.
the road. Where should I look next?
In the review mirror.
Yeah, I need to know what's happening ahead and behind
Yeah.
to see if I need to give what?
If you need to.
Give what? I'm glad you didn't stick that chewing gum underneath my
I was
seat.
going to. I said, no, maybe not. You just cleaned it.
So, I need to.
Sorry, I'm yes, I again.
I need to take observations into the mirrors and
Yeah.
ahead
Yeah.
and decide if what's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, you will need to slow down.
Well, yeah, I know I'm slowing down, but I may need the signal, won't I?
You may see.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But would you? Okay.
What I what?
This is why I'm getting confused with this maneuver. Is that if you're a whiz drain away from the curb, and the car behind you, you're not parking. Do you signal?
Yeah, because I'm stopping
Of
on the
course
left,
you would.
aren't
Yeah.
Yeah?
I suppose you are. Yeah. Not quite, but yeah, I suppose you are sort of. Yeah.
I? I am
Okay.
stopping on the left, aren't
Okay.
I? Yeah, I think about cars coming behind me and cars coming towards me. They need to know what
They
I'm
need to know what you're
I'm
doing.
yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
And it'd be important not to give the signal.
Before you pass the corner.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will think you're turning
But the only
late.
way I'm going to know, and because this is subject